Hey everybody, welcome back to our final game of the day here in the group stages of the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off for League of Legends on Stress. Alongside me is Nature, and we are into the picks and bans here. It's Ninjas in Pajamas going up against Gamers2.
Yep, and the Ninjas in Pajamas have garnered, I believe, 1 win so far. And so have Gamers2, so that means it is a tie against for these two, and they might look to break that one, or they are going to break that one at the end of this one. Aurelia, Lucian, Kassadin, and Kill being banned out so far.
So I wonder whether Gamers2 are watching the earlier games of the day, because NiP have been running a particular composition over the past couple of days that I wonder whether they'll look to ban out. So NiP looking for a final ban. Wouldn't be surprised to see Yasuo here. There we go. Gets taken away from them. That kind of undid them. Lulu is likely to be the first pick for Alex here. That's typically what they're picking up. There you go.
Indeed, NiP picking up the Lulu right there. Now G2 are looking for their very first 2 picks. Braum is still open, so that could be something they are looking to pick. And there's some other champions they could go with as well, of course. There's a whole lot of other champions they could go with as well. Let's see, Caitlyn is open as well. It's something they like to play, I think.
Yeah, I guess for Gamers2, I'm kind of expecting here like maybe a Lee Sin Lucian lock-in, or Braum Lucian, some kind of
Lucian is banned though.
Oh yeah, of course he is. You just said that and I completely completely missed over it. Yeah, you're right. Caitlyn or Twitch, it could be like Thresh Twitch. You are completely right. I completely zoned out on that one. So, okay, Thresh Lee Sin. I was right on the Lee Sin. It's Morden, of course it is. Here is probably going to be Orianna Rengar. I'm going to go out on a limb and say NiP will go Rengar Orianna.
You really put money on that? No, I'm just kidding.
I actually would put money on that.
Oh.
I'd put money on that right now.
I'm
not actually going to.
I wouldn't put money on it.
If I had to, I would. But if somebody put a gun to my head and was like, put £100 on this, I actually would. Oh no! Don't pick Cog now. Orianna's gonna come in the next set. Disappointing.
Let's see whether they lock that in this case. You had the Rengar, of course, and that would make sense. They have tried that one earlier, not to the greatest effect, unfortunately. I believe they are now just trolling you.
I believe they probably are. That would be so disappointing if the gut gets locked in. Okay, so can I get like 50-50 back? Oh, they are completely trolling me. Oh, NiP. NiP. Okay, looks like Ku doesn't feel like playing Rengar again.
Alright, so the Elise and the Kog'Maw here. The Kog'Maw is normally played in a defend daily carry composition, so you might see other champions that are centered around doing just that. On the other side, G2 now might look to pick up the Orianna, I believe you said. So that might very well be dangerous for the Kog'Maw though.
Yeah, G2 may pick up like a Ziggs here or something else that's got a lot of damage from middle lane. I gambled and lost, so I'm completely offset now with what actually is going to happen. Ah dear.
Alright, let's see what goes down here. Ocelot and Yuki, 6 more seconds. I would say they would probably want to pick up something that can deal with the Kog'Maw, of course, and the Caitlyn and the Ziggs would come through here, so the Ziggs was to be expected, and the Caitlyn sort of as well, although we did have the Twitch available at the moment as well, and perhaps even the Jinx, even though that is not quite as prevalent as some other AD carries. Freeze, however, now looking for that mid lane Syndra, which we do see from time to time to deal with the Ziggs.
And not only that, Power of Evil is a Syndra player. He is exceptionally good on Syndra, so normally it's actually banned out against him, but they chose to ban away the Kassadin Kayle Jax to get Alex on a tough champion, which we've seen from time to time, but the fact they let Lulu through really strikes me as kind of strange to throw 3 bans at Alex when they have not got first pick, so We'll see. But Braum locked in for Voidal. That's going to go alongside Cogmore. Syndra gets locked in. The last pick is probably just going to be Shyvana here for Gamers2. Tends to be the typical top lane pick. But there are a couple open, I guess, if you really wanted to go for it. Not too much, actually, though. Yeah, Shyvana's probably the last remaining pick here.
Let's see. I'm very hesitant about making gambles at this point.
Oh, I'm not. I've already lost. I already lost hundreds of pounds.
Dude, still 30 seconds remaining, is going to pick up that top laner for the team who will be facing off against Alex Ich and his Lulu. Probably running the teleport. He will be running the teleport as well. They are taking their time though, so they may be discussing some stuff, or they might still be just stretching out the time a bit at this point to make sure they can get a bit more time to discuss their potential strategies.
Ooh. Hello.
The Nidalee. Okay.
Well, it is JWoww, and we said he could just bring something random out. Is this a return of Bruiser Nidalee in the top lane?
So I saw this video about, I don't remember from who it was, but he explained that in this new patch, a Bruiser Nidalee was a very viable option, and this is the very first time I am about to see a Nidalee in the top lane, so I would say it is indeed going to be the Bruiser Nidalee, but we are going to have to find out when this game actually starts, which is in just a little bit over 3 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you strap yourselves in because it's going to be a very fun ride. Stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back, late.
Oops, sorry, man.
Sorry.
No worries. I was going to say welcome back, everybody, to the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off. A little bit of miscommunication between myself and Nature there. But I'm Stress. Alongside me is Nature. And we are into game.
We are into game, indeed. That was a bit unfortunate. Sorry for that. I misunderstood you there, I believe. Ooh, the death sentence coming through there. Doesn't quite hit Void, although. Might be in for a bit more trouble. But in the end, he's going to walk away.
Yeah, sorry about that. I spoke too quickly, seemingly, on, organising who has taken the intro on that one. But my fault on that one. I'll take the brunt of that. But we are into game, and for the first time, we've had a bit of aggression here out of Gamers2. Well, I say out of Gamers2, pretty much all day with the invades. So they've got good wards out. You can see deep wards, 3 of them, all through the jungle.
And the interesting thing about this match is that the winner of this match, or actually hold that thought for a second, we might have some action in that jungle. JWoww getting caught a bit by Alexich right there. Throws down the heal on himself, which he has now leveled first as the swipe, of course. No casualties though, but as I was saying, the winner of this match will advance to the winner's bracket alongside N Faculty.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation. So, NiP can't be top of the group because they lost to N Faculty. So if NiP win this, they go second. If Gamers2 win this, Gamers2 can leapfrog N Faculty and go into first place because they beat them earlier today, so their head-to-head record is better. So it's an odd one that, it will determine the top 2 spots, but in a little bit of a weird order. And NiP have gone and stolen the red buff away.
And they have indeed. Let's see whether they can actually capitalize on that. So far it seems that G2 are going to do the exact same thing and take the enemy's red buff for them as well. As we do see, there's a lot of pings coming down on the side of NiP. They might have been suspecting that G2 stole their red buff as well. And on top of that, G2 are also going to steal some of these wraiths to make sure that they get the gold and the experience they need.
So there's a bit of a question in chat of why are people playing Cogmore again? So yes, he has in really good range. So what happened to Cogmore in the last couple of months is he's had his Bioarcane Barrage mana cost reduced to nothing now. So his laning phase is a little bit better. The itemization changes on this patch really benefit slightly later game AD carries because of the way that a lot of AD carries like Caitlyn are now going Infinity Edge, which is so much more expensive than a Bloodthirster. So it just means there's a little bit less damage after initial itemization in lane because it gets a little bit pushed further back. Initial meaning, obviously BF Sword to Bloodthirster is a lot less expensive than BF Sword to Infinity Edge. There's that kind of timing window when Cog has a little bit safer a time now. And on top of that, Freeze is just really comfortable playing a champion with no escape, especially with Alexich, who's going to provide him with shields, long range stuns out of Power of Evil, and Voidal can easily jump to him and take a lot of the crowd control out. So there's a lot that goes into it, and let's Freeze play Cogmore.
Alright, so far, actually almost landing the stun right there on towards Ocelot. Morden from the side alongside JWoww could be looking for this kill towards Power of Evil. Instantly flashes for it, but there's the rest of NiP. The cavalry has arrived at this point. JWoww now trying to make a run for it, so is Ocelot. He needs to be very, very careful here. There's the bouncing bomb on towards Ku. JWoww locked up. This is going to be first blood for NiP. But G2 aren't out of the trouble here just yet. But neither is NiP, as G2 are right now looking to chase down Alexich and Ku. There's the Sonic Wave on towards him. Shield comes down. Feud has joined the party. There's the Flash and Flay. Power of Evil is going to go down. It's a 1-for-1. But a beautiful hook on Ku might be making it a 2-for-1. And it is going to be a 2-for-1. Morden secures the second kill. Yeah,
they couldn't get Ku out of there alive. It looked for a second they may have been able to get Ocelot, but I think he was chugging a potion or something and ended up regenerating a little bit of health there and wouldn't have been enough for Ku to take out. But that was a little bit scrappy by NiP. They picked up the first blood and then from there got caught out by Dude really smartly roaming up towards the mid lane. So credit to Gamers2 on that one to keep this at 2-1 in kills.
Okay, so we do have at the moment a poll running about who will take this game. Make sure you actually fill that one in so we can look at what you people think about this game, and we can maybe judge a bit on this game about what you think. JWoww throwing out the spear there on towards Alexic. Didn't quite get a whole lot of damage down. So far he started off with the Dorn's Blade.
Yeah, so far that is where he's at, and I was looking at the runes of JWoww before we started this, and he's running 2 AP quints, 1 armor quint, I think it was hybrid reds, health scaling yellows, and a mixture of MR and armor blues. So we'll watch that as he goes on. Freeze may be caught out, but this is very similar to a lot of the games here where Freeze gets caught early on.
Ooh, and he might be able to turn this one around, however. There's the Captain surprise. It's not going to be enough to turn it around under the turret with some good aggro swapping. G2 managed to pick up the kill, but now Ku might be looking to turn this one around himself. There's the cocoon. Morden will be first to flash. Now JWoww under the turret will make it out alive with the last slither of mana and health as well. So that's one nice pickup there for G2. And if we were to take a look at the poll, it is 54% versus 45% in favor of Gamers2, so it is still very close.
Oh man, that was so close, and Ku nearly getting a kill there onto JWoww and Morden, but the fact Morden didn't use his flash in that earlier engagement allowed him to control that a little bit better in the top lane, so bit interesting to see how that one went on. But something I was going to comment before the game was actually how Bruiser Nidalee may end up being a little bit better, as now you have access to Cougar form at level 1, so you're a lot more mobile in the lane than Nidalee used to be, a lot harder to gank, and have quite a bit more in the way of damage than you used to at level 1, because of course you can put down all the damage out of Cougar form as well. So pretty interesting to see how it will get picked up again, especially considering how Leap is going to work with the fact that it now gets that reset on it.
Alright, then G2 now trying to maintain the gold lead they have gathered so far. It's a small one, but it is a good one as well. Dude and Yuki also trying to poke out a bit against Voido and Freeze, who don't really want to go all aggressive at this point because of course they are dealing with the Kog'Maw, and as I say that, they start to go a bit aggressive on towards Yuki, who won't be facing death anytime soon, but it does take quite a bit of poke because of the living artillery.
Keeping eyes on the top lane, of course. Remember JWoww and on that Nidalee had the rework recently, so it's now slightly different on how her abilities work. She'll get extra distance on leap or pounce if she goes to a marked target, so that's something to keep track of, as Nidalee can now catch up pretty quickly to any kind of target, even faster than she used to before.
He can indeed. Morden has reached his blue buff. That means that Ocelot is going to get that one, and he'll be spamming out those bouncing bombs in his lane all the time, which can be annoying. Ooh, almost. I thought it might have been Morden picking it up because of the red buff in the end, but luckily Ocelot did get it. On the other side, Power of Evil also got his blue buff, of course. Gets the stun on towards Ocelot, gets a bit of damage down, and he'll be backing off right after that, but the poke is always nice.
Power of Evil is such a good Syndra player, always lands those stuns, so that's something Gamers2 have got to be really careful of. It's something that really helped NiP during their time at DreamHack, that every time there was 2, 3, 4-man stuns out of Syndra with that Scatter the Weak. So it's just one of those things that that Syndra players are pretty few and far between, but when they actually, you know, pardon the pun, get the ball rolling on their stuns, it's so impressive to actually see. And it's one of the things that Bjergsen, as soon as he came into LCS last season, was known for, and he hasn't really played so much since, but Power of Evil is kind of picking up that mantle.
Let's see what team makes the first move here. Morden is definitely looking for some aggression near that top lane. He's going to try and sneak into that lane. Alexic needs to be a bit careful. He does have the Wild Growth and the Whimsy, of course, which is always nice to have. JWoww is going to go and try aggressive here. Here's Morden. Doesn't quite get the cripple down, so he will not get the slow. And that means Alexis will make it out alive. Does burn the flash though, but we do see Ku and Power of Evil now heading over towards that top lane. JWoww needs to be a bit careful. He doesn't get dove under his turret at this point. Power of Evil will be looking to do just that. Here's Ku. JWoww, what is he going to do? Does get hit by the volatile spider. They are just waiting for these minions to go away at this point. Morden being forced away as well. JWoww trying to make a run for it. There's a stun though, even though he flashed. But it seems like he'll make it out alive. Might not say the same for Morden though, as he'll make it out alive too.
No ignite from Power of Evil, so he put the unleashed power down, didn't get the kill from it. But they got, what was it overall? Ow. Power of Evil actually flashed as well. That's not going to be too good for them. It looks like they got Nidalee Flash in exchange for Flash and a lot of time spent up in that top lane.
Alright, now Power of Evil looking for some aggression on towards Ocelot. Lands another stun. There's a stun cocoon flash as well on towards Ocelot by Ku. Ocelot using that lantern to get out, but he will be able to pick up the return kill on towards Power of Evil. Box and flash coming through, but Ku might be able to turn this one around on towards Ocelot, but it is not meant to be. Double kill Ocelot 5-1 G2.
Ocelot just got gifted a couple of kills there. For some reason they went on Ocelot without unleashed power available. Syndra needs that in these early levels because before you've got the itemization you really don't have the damage from the rest of her abilities. So a little bit questionable going in on that, and then Ku didn't have too much of an option than other to try and get a kill on Ocelot right there, but it just so happened as not the best smite there anymore. It just so happened that the damage did not come down from Ku's venomous bite or the neurotoxin enough to kill him.
There's going to be a dragon there for G2 on top of, or on the back of the field gank attempt on towards Ocelot, and a double kill is not too nice for the guys on NiP because it could very well come back and haunt them in the end of this game. As at this point, if we were to take a look at the disparity in gold in that mid lane, it is a 1,000 gold lead for Ocelot so far, but meanwhile that bottom lane, Dude could be in trouble. Throws down the Flay. There's the shield out of Voidal rather, and Dude is going to go down. Ku picks up the kill, and he just overextended a bit.
Ooh, top lane.
Top lane action as well. JWoww a bit low, but there's a safeguard out of Morden. Is going to try and turn this one around. JWoww will be able to do it with the help of Morden. And Alexic didn't quite expect that one. They might also be able to even pick up some damage on this turn.
I'm wondering where this Nidalee build is going. It could be Triforce, which would be one option. I haven't really seen too much Bruce in Nidalee, but the fact that it's a Sheen is likely to either be Triforce or Iceborne. I don't think it's going to go Lich Bane, especially with the fact that he's not itemizing for AP. JWoww's trying to kill the turret, gets it just before the teleport completes. That's a big cooldown and not available.
Voido in that bottom lane with some quick reflexes, dodging the Pillar of Peacemaker, but Yuki in that mid lane, or in that bottom lane rather as well, is in a bit of trouble. However, will be in the same situation if he doesn't turn this one around, and he is going to go down. Yuki picks up the kill. Now Dude throwing out the death sentence, almost took that one on towards Voidal. Didn't quite get it down in the end though. And well, right now Ocelot joining in. This could be very bad for Voidal and crew, but Ocelot was a bit too late.
Metas and I talked about this quite a bit earlier, that when Ku is being over aggressive, NiP seem to lose their head completely. And that is happening once again. 1-3-1 at 14 minutes on Ku is not really what they'd be looking for at this point. He hasn't really been getting anything for these kills, so it's a little bit surprising that he is so far behind, but maybe they just need to refocus a little bit from that.
Yeah, it is a 4,000 gold lead so far for Gamers2, also having picked up their very first turret of the game in that top lane. Of course, they are looking very strong, but it isn't over yet, so NiP could still do a whole lot in this game before one of these two Nexi goes down. As for now, it seems like we do have ourselves a bit of a breather, a bit of a lull in this game, as both teams are once again waiting for the other to make a move.
Looks like it's a Triforce for the top laner, as Phage has been picked up alongside Sheen, but I'll be honest, I didn't actually expect the gold lead to be quite as high as it is in favor of Gamers2, just because it doesn't actually feel like NiP are that far behind, but their lanes just aren't farming as well, and that's a big problem right now for them. It is a big gold lead, and look at Power of Evil taking damage in the middle lane. Ziggs may even look to just go all in on the next minion wave, because look at the rest of his team falling in behind him.
Oh, Power of Evil is in a very bad situation. Didn't quite see Morden coming. 8-2 here as Morden cleans him up, and that is going to leave that mid lane open, as in the top lane JWoww is also getting ganked by Ku, and he will be able to pick up a retribution on Power of Evil right there. But in that bottom lane, the turret went down for G2. They did pick themselves up the turret in the mid lane, but they might also face the destruction of their own turret in that top lane. They are looking for the second tier turret in the mid lane as well, as they actually hook in Voidal. They flame back. There's the Glacial Fissure. Is it going to be enough to save him? Exhaust comes down, ace in the hole, and the Mega Inferno Bomb to seal the deal for him, as they pick up the second tier turret as well.
And Gamers2 will be super happy with that. Yes, it's a 2 for 2 overall on the turret trade, but an inner tower in the middle lane is worth way more than a top tower outer tier. So I'm a little bit surprised that NiP are kind of just falling over here. And it's up to now nearly 5,500 gold. Nope, 4,500 gold. Oh, maths. 6th game of the day for me. So little bit bad on the maths here. Nearly 5,000 gold.
Alright, so far G2 looking very strong, of course. The traps being placed down by JWoww, who's also now pushing out that top lane. You want to be a bit careful, of course, with putting out the top lane if there is no tier 1 turret, because you face the danger of Alex Ich freezing the lane all the way up and up in his territory, where he will be indefinitely farming if he gets the chance. So far it seems like JWoww is not going to let him, and Alex Ich will just be shoving this lane back. On the other side of the map, however, Dragon is just about to respawn. Both of these top laners do have their teleports available, so we could see a big fight erupting here very, very shortly. Dragon will respawn in just 5 seconds, and G2 and NiP are in position.
The thing is, JWoww's only way of stopping the teleport is by killing Alex, so it's not exactly the most effective way of doing it. So JWoww's just looking to deny Alex any kind of teleport here, as Morden is caught.
Well, Morden is caught indeed. We'll use the safeguard to get out, but Ku is trying to follow him. There's the Dragon's Rage kick, and Morden will reach a safe distance in the end. Mega Inferno Bomb coming down. The guys on NiP are so low. Voidal takes the ace in the hole. This might open up this Dragon Pit for G2 to actually take it down, and it seems like it's going to be an uncontested Dragon.
Yeah, not a lot of ways of contesting this. That's going to die far too fast, and Gamers2 constantly getting further and further ahead. Now they're nearly 6,000 gold up. Can do that maths for now, but Voidal drops pretty low as JWoww flashes in for the swipe.
With the Triforce, tons of damage in the end. And G2 picked themselves up the 10th kill of the game, or the 10th kill for them of the game. And they will now start to push out that mid lane for some extra pressure on the inhibitor turrets, as that is where they are at already. The bottom lane, Yuki picking up another turret for them, and I would say this is not looking too good for NiP.
It really isn't. This is kind of reminiscent of the End Faculty game, where NiP just really didn't get the motor going. I mean, they beat Unicorns of Love in 20 minutes. It was the most dominating game of the day, but it just seems like if you force NiP to falter in their early game, they struggle to get back in, and I wonder how they're going to look to fix that as they continue.
Let's see what happens next. Taking a look at the polls once again, it is still Gamers2 in the lead, 60 versus 40% in favor of Gamers2, of course. And that is about the chances I would give them in this game so far. Actually, Ku might be in a bit of trouble in the mid lane. There's the death sentence. Will hook on towards one of those spiderlings in the top lane. JWoww trying to do damage on towards Alex Ich. Won't quite get it though, as he's a bit too quick and he darts around a bit too quickly in the end. And Morden now looking for the red buff steal. Is he going to get it? I'm not too sure. He actually got it in the end. There's the glacial fissure, completely whiffs. Teleport comes down. Alex steps on towards one of those Yordle snap traps. G2 disengaged with the red buff, and the teleport burned.
I'll be honest, I think without some kind of massive blunder from G2, this is much more like an 80-20 on the likelihood of G2 closing this out here. But, I mean, they got the teleport there. And that's, you know, it was no kills during that engagement, was it? So, nope. Yeah, I mean, Gamers2 will feel okay about that. They got a free teleport.
And the red buff, of course. So it is very, very nice for G2. They are 7,000 gold in the lead. It is continuously extending in favor of them. And it doesn't seem like they are willing to stop. As, of course, they are just one Nexus away from securing their spot in the upper bracket of this tournament. Ocelot now pressuring Power Vivo a bit more, but so far it seems like they're doing just fine.
Doing just fine indeed. And, interesting, Hex Drinker was the next item picked up by Nidalee, so we'll keep an eye again as that build continues. But Bruce and Nidalee, I'm sure somewhere Hotshot GG is probably just preparing with CLG for their game later, but I'd like to think he's watching.
Alright, now once again JWoww on the Bruiser Nidalee, split pushing in the bottom lane. Freeze is defending that one. Needs to be a bit careful he doesn't get surprised by JWoww, because he does put down a surprising amount of damage. In the mid lane, however, Ocelot almost getting caught by Power of Evil right there. JWoww waiting for Freeze, and he will spot him out. Doesn't quite land the javelin, but he will be able to land the swipe. And that is already going to take him down to half health. As in the mid lane, both of these players are still facing off in some sort of cowboy standoff, with their guns not drawn just yet, but it might very well be happening in the next couple of minutes.
He really needed that javelin to hit if he wanted to actually get the kill. It was enough to force Freeze away, but if he gets that, he gets added damage, extra jump range, lots of different things on the Nidalee kit now onto hunted targets. Flash forward in the middle lane.
Oh, but it might not be enough as Ocelot takes the Dark Passage out of there, and the Glacial Fissure once again gets burned and goes wide. And this is not good for NiP, as they will not have that one available if another fight erupts. Morden now looking for the kill on towards Power of Viva, and they will get it with the Ace of the Hole of Yuki, and they might just also get that top lane tier 2 turret. So we do see now JWoww looking for the kill on towards Alex Shits in that mid lane, in the bottom lane rather. Won't quite get it, but they do get the tier 2 top lane turret.
Yeah, they get tier 2. He's probably going to get tier 2 in the bottom lane as well. Because, I mean, he's forced Alex away. And, oh, okay, they're going to go for the Baron instead. So teleport is available for JWoww. It is not available for Alex. And teleport actually being used here by JWoww. So they will look to secure this Baron without anybody from NiP being around.
Satchel charge is going to knock 2 in towards the wall. They have already secured the Baron. Now they will be looking to secure some kills. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb Coup, taken down to sub 30% health. Voidal rather, still being chased down. A couple more hits will do it. There's the Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. Morden picks up the kill, 12-3. This is not looking too good for the guys on NiP, as we might just see Gamers2 taking this game in the next couple of minutes, as there's only just a couple of inhibitors and Nexus turrets, of course, standing between them and their spot in the upper bracket.
Yeah, Gamers2 are just going to play it the safe way, take out the bottom lane. JWoww is strong enough in the middle lane to actually hold Power of Evil at bay. Look at the damage coming from JWoww already.
Yeah, it is quite extensive. G2 now looking for the bottom tier 2 turret, and that one is not going to be defended here by NiP, which I think is a good call not to defend that one, because I think it's very hard to defend, and they would have probably gone down defending it either way. But still, it's not ideal, and it is going to give G2 even more of a gold lead here, as they will also secure the dragon. 13,000 gold.
Yeah, there's 3,000 gold on Ziggs, 3,000 on Caitlyn. There was probably quite a lot on Nidalee as well, so they want to just go back, spend up, and get themselves ready for what is likely to be the next engage over an inhibitor, and I don't know whether NiP can actually take that fight. They are so far behind item-wise.
Yeah, they are indeed. I'm not too sure what NiP need to do at this point to make sure they can come back in towards this game. First of all, they need to stall, of course, I'd say. And I'd even go so far as to say that G2 have to make a mistake if NiP still want to win this game.
Yeah, that's it would have to be a pretty big mistake as well. Catastrophic. Although it wouldn't be the first time. We saw Faculty completely throw the game against G2 at Baron earlier. Ace in the hole channeled. Third of the health. Ooh.
Yep, and Dude actually flashing because he didn't want to get stunned up by Power of Evil. Now G2 are starting up the siege. They have the Ziggs in their favor, so could work out pretty nicely for them. On the other side, NiP don't have a lot of wave clear. They do have the Living Artillery and the Glitter Lance. Glitter Lance is quite close range though, and it doesn't go too far, so it might not be enough to keep those minions off of this turret. NiP now desperately trying to hold on towards this one. Yuki is starting to hit the turret, starting to hit with some of those minions as well. And they don't get too much damage down on it, but JWoww will be happy to tank it up even. So I think this turret might not last for too long.
Yeah, it's just a case of getting Yuki in front of it. I mean, as you said, Ziggs and Caitlyn, so strong. Ooh, stun doesn't land there at a Power of Evil. A little bit uncharacteristic here. Hook has landed on Voidal.
Yep, and that is a very dead Voidal. JWoww to pick up back. Now they are looking for this turret. Actually, JWoww getting stunned up now. Freeze looking to turn some damage around on towards him. But Power of Evil getting knocked back by Morden is going to go down. Ocelot picking up that kill. Looking for Ku. Freeze getting knocked back as well. There's the ace on the wall on towards Freeze. With the heal, he will survive. But I don't think you can say the same for that inhibitor turret. That one will go down. So will the inhibitor. I don't think they want to end it just yet. But let's see what they do.
I don't think they necessarily should, but they can, I think. This could be the throw that we were talking about. Gamers2 don't really have the minion wave there. They would need a pick to be able to actually close this game out here, and they're not going to get it. Baron buff has run out. Oh, Ku goes aggressive.
Yeah, going aggressive indeed, but the Dark Passage to secure Ocelot's safe retreat, and they will make it back towards their base. The Baron buff has indeed worn out at this point, as you said. So they are probably going to go back and buy and maybe start to siege after that one, or maybe start split pushing at a couple of fronts.
There's not too much that NiP can actually do against that either. I don't think there's too much that can go up against JWoww right now. And then the rest of the team is so strong they can just push down turrets. And this is so similar to the Faculty game earlier that NiP just haven't been given the kills.
And a surrender vote actually coming through for NiP as well.
Failed surrender vote though.
A failed, sorry, yeah, I should have mentioned that. It's a failed surrender vote.
I was gonna say, I was like, it hasn't surrendered for me.
Oh, Morden in the bottom lane could be finding himself in a bit of trouble though. But once again, it's Dude with the Dark Passage to save his life. He's been really on point with his Dark Passages so far.
Yeah, he really has. And I think that attempted surrender out of NiP tells such a big story right now, and I'd be interested to know who it was that voted yes on that one and who voted no.
You might unfortunately never know, and at this point we do even see NiP picking up the scrying orbs because they do not want to get caught in their own jungle, and that would be disastrous for this game. G2, however, are looking to end it nonetheless. Now looking for the bottom lane inhibitor turret, as there's the ace and all on towards Freeze. That's going to hit like a truck. Freeze will have to either lifesteal up or go back to base if he wants to stay in the fight longer than a couple of seconds.
It's going to be another inhibitor turret going down in favor of Gamers2 here. Stun has landed, so it's going to deter them for a little while. They haven't really got the regen without the Baron, which is coming up in 30 seconds. They may very well decide to just swing away from this one and let the inhibitor in the middle lane do its work.
Alright, let's see how long NiP can hold out rather in this case. They do have the split pushing JWoww on the side, of course, who is now closing in on towards that turret. Cocoon doesn't quite connect. Power of Evil rather falling quite low. JWoww being attacked by 3 members, and there's a flash and play on towards Ku. Wild Growth coming down, Glacier Fissure as well. Trying to get out as soon as he can. Morden will be able to secure that kill for Yuki on towards Voidal, as we do now see G2 actually backing off. The ace in the hole being channeled there, I believe, but cancelled in the end, as we do see G2 not favoring their position in this case, with the living artillery on freeze, proving it a bit too much.
They got the inhibitor tower anyway, and now they're going to head all the way back to the base for a sec, just before probably trying to take down the Baron. But I mean, the inhibitor is still down in the middle lane. It's probably due up soon, by my estimation. Not too long before that comes up, so I mean, yeah, there we go. there's a bit of intuition. But oh, JWoww might be caught out.
Oh, JWoww in a bit of trouble. There's Ignite and the Unleashed Power, but Yuki might have to try or might get a Retribution kill around towards Power of Evil. There's the stun though, and that is going to deter him from actually picking up that kill. Luckily for Power of Evil, because if he would have gone down, that would be kind of bad for NiP, and I think G2 can actually deal with a death on their team at this point.
Yeah, it's not too big of a problem for them. But yeah, we've got G2. Oh, the hook.
Oh, and Voidal is once again a dead man. You can have a large mustache and you can be as manly as you can, but when 3 members of G2 dive on towards you, you are still going to go down. Now, Baron might share his fate at this point. G2 are probably going to take that one down, and I don't think NiP are going to be able or going to try and contest this one.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to either. And the fact that the Baron for a second time has gone to G2 means they should be able to now close out this game. With the regen that Baron is going to give them, they'll be able to push down both of these inhibitors, and I don't see how NiP can actually fight this.
Yeah, neither can I. We did see G2 backing away now, so they picked themselves up some more items. Spectre's Cowl for JWoww, and the Blade of the Rune King for Yuki being finished off. So this is looking pretty dire for the guys on NiP, and G2 have now also got the Void Staff on Ocelot, so that magic resist on NiP is not going to do too much as they might want it to.
Dragon goes down to Gamers2. They are really just taking everything on the map that they want right now, and there's not too much NiP can actually answer with. I mean, you look at their itemization, it's an Infinity Edge, Blade of the Rune King, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, Berserker's Greaves, Caitlyn, against Triforce, Blade of the Rune King, Berserker's Greaves, Cogmore. 2 full items completed over their counterpart. 14,500 gold to 9,500 gold. That is a staggering difference between Yuki and Freeze here.
Now they are looking for the inhibitor. This might just be what they need to finish off this game. I don't see that one standing for too long, to be honest. Actually, Alex, it's getting a little bit too close. Cocoon goes wide, and they will be able to pick themselves up that inhibitor. They might also be looking for a second one after that. Morden just going to take the inside of the base to walk down there. The rest taking a bit of a detour, but it doesn't matter because they will also be taking down the second inhibitor. Voidal throwing down the shield to make sure they don't all go down to the spears of JWoww. And in the end, G2 get themselves 2 inhibitors. Oh, there's some skill shots. Good stun on towards JWoww, but it's not enough. Power of Evil goes down. Ace and Hole being channeled on towards Freeze. That is a lot of damage. Will be forced to flash out instantly as Ocelot puts down the damage. Alexitz makes it out alive, but just barely. And now the very first Nexus turret is being hammered on. This could very well be game here. G2 take number 1. Can they take number 2 as well? Voidal being hooked back in there, dives in, and he will go down. NiP being shut down completely here. They finally get the shutdown on towards Morden, ironically, but it is not enough to save them the game. It is G2 in the winner's bracket.
G2 will take the first place spot in the group, and it is crazy land here today because it's triangular wins and losses. You had N Faculty win the entire day, end up losing to G2, who lost to Unicorns of Love, who got smashed by NiP, who lost to Gamers2. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. We are going to have to see how this one pans out in the bracket stages of the tournament, which continues tomorrow. So if you haven't followed the stream yet, make sure you do, because if everything is going to be exciting as it has been today, you're in for quite some nice matches tomorrow.
You are indeed. But I believe that is all from us here today for the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off. So make sure you follow the channel. That'll give you all the information for when we're going live. Also at the top of the chat there is also the tournament info link, so follow that. But yeah, follow the channel. That's a super important thing to do, guys. It'll tell you every time we go live with awesome League of Legends action here for the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off. And that means we'll be seeing you tomorrow for the knockout stages. We'll be back with that tomorrow, so we will see you tomorrow.